Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is the end of October, which means that November is coming up in just a short few days, and I wanted to get my November budget ready in my deluxe Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner. So we will go ahead and get started here. So first, obviously, I am using the Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner. This is the planner that I use strictly for my budgeting. So right now we have our October spread, and then what I do with the budgeting portion of it is I lay out, every month I lay out all of my payday stickers, my bill due stickers. We have rent, tumbling, credit cards, car payment, whatnot. Car insurance is somewhere here. So we lay out all of those things, paydays, and then you guys all know every week I come in here and do my weekly budget check-ins. As far as the monthly portion of the budgeting, I lay out first of all, the monthly budget, which lists all of my different incomes. Two of them are fixed incomes, and then the other two are online incomes, YouTube and Etsy, and those are variable. And then I list out all of my expenses, including sinking funds, and then total those up. And then at the end of the month, I will come back in here, write what the actual was, and then what we were off, if we were over that, if we were under that, just kind of seeing where at I fall in my budget. Then I also come in and I set up my sinking funds. So I currently have 7 different sinking funds. So I set up those at the beginning of the month. So we have the beginning totals, and then we'll come in here at the end of the month, figure out what we added in, what we took out, and what our ending balance is. We have the debt tracker. So I currently have 5 different debt accounts. So again, we're listing all of the debt accounts, what the beginning balance was for the month, and then the amount paid and the ending balance. Then we have, and I'm actually going to switch these two. I'm going to put transactions on this page and weekly check-in on this page for my November budget. So then we have the weekly check-in here, which has weeks 1 through 4, and then total, and then we have our transaction log here, which keeps track of all of my expense transactions throughout the month. So that would be spending, gas, groceries, sinking funds, and anything unbudgeted. So I don't do, things that I'm already planning for, like phone bill or car insurance or rent or anything like that. I don't track those here, just the expenses portion. And then I always do my current debt totals on the 5th page of after the monthly spread. So we're going to go ahead here and open to November. I have not filled out the overview yet, but we will get to that. So again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blank notes papers after that monthly overview. So we're going to do November budget, sinking funds, debt tracker, transactions, weekly check-in, and then our November debt totals. So the stickers that I'm going to be using today, these are from my Etsy shop, MoreyJuneDesigns, and these are my November budget kit stickers. So this is the November budget, so I'll be using that kit. All of these kits are available individually in my Etsy shop. That way you can pick and choose which ones you want. So we will be using the November budget, the weekly check-in kit. I'm going to be using about 5 of the thick washi strips total. So each thick washi strip kit comes with 2 thick washies. We're going to be using the sinking funds kit, the debt tracker, the transactions, and then a thin washi kit. So those are the different kits that I'm going to be using to fill out this budget. If you're interested in any of the November sticker kits, or I also have December up in my Etsy shop right now, you can go ahead and check those out. but we'll go ahead and get started here. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a thick washi, and like I said, this is going to be for my November budget. And I'm actually going to just white this little blue hexagon shape here, just so that it doesn't peek through my sticker. Some of those darker colors kind of peek through, especially since there's a lot of white on this specific pattern. You definitely do not have to do that. I just do. So we'll go ahead, we get that laid down there. So that is what that part looks like. And like I said, we're going to pull out the first kit, which is the November budget. So the November budget sticker kit comes with the November budget script sticker. And all the colors match accordingly to the different colors and patterns in the different pattern. What is this called? Oh my goodness, washi. Completely drawing a blank. And then you will get 5 different thin washi strips. You get your income, your total income, your expenses, your total expenses, and then your total budgeted savings and your total actual savings thin washi. So I'm just going to go right under that thick washi and lay down my income thin washi. Make sure that it gets all lined up nicely. And just last month I started doing, go flip back to it, lines in it. That way it can kind of keep everything more even, because I find, especially like for the expenses portion, I find I kind of start writing crooked when I get a little bit down the page, so doing the lines has really helped me stay where I need to be. So I think I'm going to go ahead and fill out my lines now, then I'll lay down my expenses washi. So I'm going to grab my ruler, and I can kind of, let's see here, I'm going to use so this marker that I'm using is the Erin Condren dual tip marker. I really love these. I also have her gel pens too, which I would use right now, but I do not know where my black one is. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use the thicker side, which is more of like a thinner marker. I'm going to use that one to draw my lines, and then I'll use the thin side to actually write out my budget. That looks pretty even. And our last column here. Perfect. So that'll just make sure that when I'm starting to write all of my income and expenses and whatnot, they stay even. So now what I'm going to do, like I said, I have 4 different income sources. So I have my full-time job, my part-time job, Etsy, and then YouTube. So our 4 different incomes. So I'm just going to take the income washi, or the total income washi. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to put it directly underneath that 4th income source. And you can set yours up however you want. You do not have to follow exactly what I'm doing at all. They were made to kind of allow you to do it how you want to. So I'm just going to white out those black lines, otherwise it'll see through the white portions of my totals box. Perfect. So we'll be able to write in our 4 incomes, and then the next one I'm going to do is the expenses. And again, I'm going to come directly under this. Now you could kind of, I have quite a few expenses, which will take up the majority of the page. So, I mean, you could put a gap between your income and expenses with a thin washi, with like one of these, and then come in with this, or you could even separate it with a thick washi and then come in with your expenses washi. But like I said, I have quite a few expenses, so if I put a thick washi there, I would not have room to write down all of my expenses. Although I think last time I did separate it with one thin washi. So I will do that. I'm going to use probably the darker one here because I already have this color up here, and then that tan color is the expense one. So I'm going to just come right in with this maroon-ish colored thin washi, and we'll put that right here just to give a little bit of separation between the income and the expenses. Like I said, you guys can do whatever you want to do. You do not have to do it that way. That's what I like about these kits, is they are made a little bit customizable to where you can lay them down how you want them. I'm again just going to white out these 3 black lines just because this washi is still a little bit on the lighter side, that way the black doesn't peek through that washi. Alright, so we have our expenses, and I think I'm going to first write out all the expenses and then I'll come through with the total expenses washi. I don't normally use the savings washi, but I do put it on there because I do know a lot of people like to track their savings. I already have my $1,000 emergency fund, so I currently am not putting anything aside for savings right now. Oh, and I got a nice hair on there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I'm going to fill out is my income. Now, like I said, I do have 2 fixed incomes, which is my full-time job and my part-time job. And then I have my 2 variable incomes, which would be YouTube and Etsy. So, of course, figuring out my full-time job and my part-time job with the fixed income, that is easy. Figuring out Etsy and YouTube is not always easy to figure out what I'm going to budget it at. So I usually take into consideration what I made the previous month, which October is actually not over yet, so I do not exactly know yet for Etsy what the month is going to end like. I do know, or actually I don't know with YouTube really either, so, or yeah, I do know with YouTube because I already got paid for YouTube, so I do know that, but, so it's just kind of a little bit difficult. And also, I also wanted to point out, so November, for you people, or for those like me, who get paid on Fridays, every Friday, there are 5 paydays in November. So I like to call these magic months, because there's probably, I think maybe 4 or 5 months in a year that there are 5 Fridays in that month, which means 5 paychecks. So the bills that you have, like your debt payments, your utility bills, cell phone, you know, all of that jazz, those, you still have that same minimum payment a month. That doesn't change, but you're getting 5 paydays rather than 4. But then, of course, like for me, I do cash envelopes for my gas, my groceries, and spending, and then also sinking funds. So I fill all 4 of those every week. So those I still will have to fill the 5 different Fridays, but it's kind of nice because you get kind of an extra payday even though your monthly bill amount for like debt and utilities and whatnot are going to stay the same. So those are magic months in my book. So with that being said, my income is going to increase obviously for the month of November because I do have that extra pay week in here. So that is always nice. So with my full-time job, this first one here, the first one, my full-time job and my part-time job, are the ones that I budget with. So all the expenses that I'm going to write out here are covered by these two jobs. And then YouTube and Etsy are kind of extra. And that's just because, I mean, I could not sell anything in my Etsy shop in one whole week. And if I count on that money and then all of a sudden I'm not getting it, or same with YouTube, that's just not a very wise decision. So I do not budget with those. Those are just extra. Whatever, after I pay taxes for YouTube and Etsy income, and then get any business expenses that I need, especially Etsy, sticker paper, more cutting mats for my Silhouette Cameo, cutting blades, anything like that, packaging supplies, printer ink. I go through a lot of ink. So after all that is paid for, then whatever extra income I have from those, I either put into savings or put towards an extra debt snowball payment. Alright, so we're going to start with my full-time job. So because of the extra payday for the month of November, my total income is going to be $2,685.35. Now I live in the Midwest, so the cost of living the cost of living here is less expensive than, you know, on the West Coast or on the East Coast, or probably even down south. So just keep that in mind. So that might not seem like very much, but I actually make a decent amount of money for, I mean, I live in a town of 330 people, so very small town in the Midwest. Alright, so the next one is my part-time job, and for that I just do some online bookworking and accounting for a local company, and my monthly income for that one is $796. See, I like how the lines kind of keep me in line, if that makes sense, with so that I can write everything even and it not like look so crooked. Alright, so with Etsy, like I said, it is the end of October, so I have not completely closed out October income-wise with Etsy. I will get another paycheck, or actually it's direct deposited, on Monday, the 28th. So I'm kind of waiting for that to come. That way I can see what my total income was for October for Etsy. But I have a pretty good idea. And actually it was a very good month, which I will do a income report video probably within the first week of November, so you guys can see how I did with YouTube, how I did with Etsy. I know people always ask that, and I'm always interested too. I think that's like one of the most searched videos on YouTube is, you know, what do YouTubers get paid? I know before I started doing YouTube, I definitely participated in that search. So, YouTube, I am going to budget at $450. So with YouTube, you get paid a month behind. So the money that and you get paid like it's the 21st of the month for the previous month. So when I got paid October 21st, it was for all of September. And then when I get paid November 21st, it will be for October. So the money that I'm calculating here is the money that I physically will be receiving. And this is pretty close to what I received in October. So that's why I'm going to go with that number. And hopefully it's higher. I always kind of budget on the low side with Etsy and YouTube. So if it's higher, that obviously would be great. And then Etsy, I set it up to where I get weekly payments with Etsy. So every Monday, they send whatever is in my Etsy account through to my bank account. So it's basically 1 week's worth of orders. And I am going to budget in income. And remember, like I said, this is income after taxes are paid, as well as any business expenses, would be $750 for the month. So that's what we are going to estimate that as. And then, like I said, I will come back in after November is over, fill out what we actually made, And then if we were below that, or if we were above what I budgeted, obviously I hope to be above what I budgeted in the income category. That is always a plus. So we'll just add up these 4 figures here. So my November income, or my budgeted income, is going to be $4,681.35. And again, if it's more than that, I will definitely take it. I'm not going to be sad if I make more money than that. That's just kind of a low figure that we're going to work with. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and go in with the expenses. I always like to list out my debt first. And yeah, okay. I was looking at something, trying to read what I'm figuring out here. Alright, we're going to start with Capital One. So Capital One is a debt, so these are just minimum payments. So I make the minimum payment, the minimum monthly payment, and then I am putting whatever I have for a debt snowball at the end of the month towards my lowest paid debt. And then next is going to be One Main. And that minimum payment is $305. Next is Apple, which is $27. Next is my car payment, which is $612, and it is high. And someone commented the other day, I do know that Dave Ramsey would suggest that I sell it and get a less price vehicle to get my minimum payment down, but I am upside down on the loan, so it's better for me and my financial situation right now to keep it and get the rest of my debts paid off, and then after I get all my other debt accounts paid off, then I can begin throwing all of my extra money to my car debt to get it down to the point where when I trade in that vehicle, I won't be upside down. So that is what I am doing with the car. The next one that I have is my kids' school account, which is essentially their lunch account, is $70 a month. And then my daughter's tumbling is $100, actually. Hold on a second. That is not, it's normally $125, but I don't have to pay for her costumes. They kind of split the cost of her recital costume between the first half of the year and the second half, and I've already paid that, so it's actually going to be $65. Not the $125 that it normally is. Alright, next is going to be rent, is $200. And for those of you that are new, I live in a family-owned house, so that is why that rent is so inexpensive. I'm extremely thankful for it, and I know not everybody is given that opportunity, so I am very thankful that my family allows me to do that. Next is Hulu, which is $49 a month, and that is the only TV service we have. Verizon is for cell phones, and that is $102 a month. And then car insurance is $80 a month. Alright, so that's all my minimum payments, and then these next ones are expenses. So gas, I take money out on a weekly basis for gas. I do $40. So because there are 5 weeks in the month of November, or 5 Fridays, and that's when I stuff my envelopes, is on Fridays, it's going to be $200 a month, or this month, for gas. Same with groceries. I'm going to end up stuffing my groceries envelope 5 times rather than 4. And at $80 a week, that is going to be $400 for the month. And then spending, I normally give myself $40 a week, so that is going to be $200 for the month, just like gas. And then sinking funds. So my sinking funds are going to be higher this month and half of next month because I did increase my weekly Christmas sinking fund to $100. And somebody commented asking why I am budgeting so much. And that is because I have a very large family. I have 3 kids myself, but I also have 4 brothers and a sister, and the majority of them have kids and spouses, and so I like to give gifts when I can, and I am able to because of the extra income that I'm getting from YouTube, which is thanks to you guys for supporting my channel, as well as Etsy, which is also thanks to a lot of you guys for supporting my Etsy shop. So I am able to do that, so I would really like to because there have been plenty of years when I really haven't been able to give much of anything, and I am definitely more of a giver than a receiver. I just love watching people open gifts, and I just think it's a really magical feeling. Makes me feel good inside. So that is why I am doing such a high Christmas budget. And I will actually do a video on my Christmas budget with kind of what I am assigning or how much I'm assigning to like each of my kids, to parents, siblings, and whatnot. I think that would be a very fun video to do. So anyway, so sinking funds for the entire month is going to be $875, but you have to remember that that's 5 weeks worth of sinking funds rather than the 4 that it would normally be. Alright, so now I'm going to come through, so these are all of my expenses. I'm going to come through with my total expenses washi, and we will put that just right underneath that sinking funds column there. And again, just going to white out these 3 black lines quick so it does not show through my white box. And then we're going to total these up. So we have 145 plus 305 plus 27 plus 612 plus 70 plus 65 plus 200 plus 49 plus 102 plus 80 plus 200 plus 400 plus 200 plus 875. So $3,330. So we have $3,330 and 0 cents. So that is going to be my total budgeted expenses for the month. And again, I'm not going to use the total budgeted savings and then total actual savings washi, just because I'm not putting anything into savings currently, because I do already have my $1,000 emergency fund saved up, so I'm more focused on paying off debt right now than putting money into savings. So that is the November budget complete. And then next over here, we're going to do sinking funds and my debt. So for the sinking funds portion of it, I am going to be using a thick washi kit and then the sinking fund sticker kit. So we're going to lay down the thick washi first, and again I'm just going to white out this blue shape up in the corner, and we will lay this sticker down as evenly as possible. Gonna come in, so the Sinking Fun sticker kit has the Sinking Fun script sticker, And then it's going to have 2 thin washies, one which will have the category, the beginning balance, if you added or took out anything out, and then the ending balance, and then also the totals thin washi. So we're going to take this category thin washi, put it directly underneath the thick washi. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and start filling in my sinking funds. I should do lines, but yeah, I think I'm going to. So because I don't have as many sinking funds and debts, I kind of separate them on the page. I am going to do my lines before I lay anything down. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I am going to put my totals washi down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sinking funds. And I'm actually going to skip a space and then lay down the totals washi. And I'm going to grab my ruler. And again, using the Erin Condren, I'm going to use the thicker side of the marker. Make sure we're somewhat even there. I'm just going to draw my lines. It's a little bit nerve-wracking doing it with a thicker marker, because I don't want to draw on my stickers and I don't want to make them uneven. Alright, I think that looks pretty even. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start writing it in. So I'm going to use the thin side of my marker now. So the first one that I have is car maintenance. Got the hair on there. So car maintenance, the beginning balance for this one is $80. So starting with the month of November, car maintenance has $80 in it. The next one is kids. And my kids sinking fund has $95. The next one is Christmas. And Christmas currently has $460. And I would like to get it up for Black Friday, so that is why I'm really trying to hit it hard with putting $100 towards it a week, just so that it's up before Black Friday, because me and my mom always go shopping, and I usually take my daughter too. It's kind of a fun family tradition that we do. Next is going to be medical. And medical is starting the month with $15. Then we have household. Which currently has $45. My gift sinking fund is at $30. And the last one is personal care. Is also at $30. So those are the beginning balances for the month of November for my sinking funds. So we will total these up. That is a fun little noise that my phone makes when somebody places an order on my Etsy shop. So thank you to whoever just placed that order. That actually scared me. So we have $80, $95, $460, $15, $45, $30, and $30. So $755 is my beginning total for my sinking funds. And then when we come in at the end of the month, that number will really shoot up because of that Christmas sinking fund when we put what our ending totals are. So that is it for sinking funds. Next I'm going to do my debt tracker. However, I'm going to set it up right now, but I am not going to fill in the amounts yet. And that is because since it's not quite the end of the month yet, and I'm not exactly sure what I have left from Etsy as far as pay. I mean, I have a kind of an idea, but I'm going to try to pay off some debt. And so I'm going to leave the debt tracker amounts empty for right now, but I'm going to go ahead and set it up. So I'm using another thick washi and then my debt tracker script sticker, or debt tracker sticker kit. So it has a debt tracker script sticker, and I feel like this video is already going to be really long. So sorry about that if you're watching and it's taking a really long time. I kind of like I like to watch longer videos though. I don't like to watch, when you get on a video and it's like 5 minutes long, and I kind of like longer ones. So hopefully you guys do too. Alright, so then we have, oh, there's a hair stuck under there. So now we have the debt tracker, and then we have our little thin washi here. So like I said, I'm going to write out what the debt accounts are, but I am not going to put the amounts yet. And I have one, let's see. One, two, three, 4, 5. And then we'll do, there it is. Then we'll do the debt totals thing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to skip a line and we'll put the totals washi right here. Then I'm going to grab my ruler again, thick side of the marker, and we're going to draw out our lines. This is looking not very even. There we go. Ah! Don't pay attention to that. Alright, so the first debt that I have is capital 1. And you know what? I am going to write out, because even if I were to pay my debt right now, it wouldn't even process until November is literally in a few days. So I am going to. First I'm going to list out the debts, and then I will go over and write what their amounts are going into the month of November. Then we have one main, Kohl's, and my car. So capital 1 beginning balance going into the month of November is $4,109.81. Then we have PayPal, which is $884.32. One main is $8,180.07. Kohl's is $590.07. And then my car payment, or my car loan, is $30,133.70. So this will be exciting because my car payment right now is over, or my car, I keep saying car payment, my car account is over $30,000, but after I pay it for November, it will actually be under $30,000, in the 20,000s, so that is a big milestone for me. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So I'm going to go ahead and total these figures up here and see where we are at in debt amounts. And like I said, this is before I add in my extra debt snowball payment from the month of October. So we are at $43,000. Here we go. So $43,898.60. And then once I get that debt snowball payment made here at the beginning of November, I'll come back with another video, and I might actually do a fun video of you guys, a quick video of you guys actually watching me go to the accounts that I'm going to be putting this debt snowball payment to. It's kind of a big one, so I'm excited about that. So I think that would be fun to do it in a video so you guys can see. It's kind of just, I don't know, inspirational, I think. So I am down to the last 2 pages that I'm going to use right now. This side is going to be transactions. This side is going to be the weekly check-in. So we'll just white this one out. I'm just going to flip it over and white this one out while I have it out here. For transactions, we're going to use a thick washi and the transactions sticker kit. So as always, lay down that thick washi right across the top there. And then the transactions script sticker. Perfect. And then we're just going to use the thin washi, come in right below that thick washi, and this thin washi has a listing of date, the amount, the category, and then the description. So just zoom in here. So that is what it looks like. Nice and pretty, all the colors go together great. So transactions is pretty easy, but I think I am going to do lines for transactions. I don't think I did in October. I don't remember. Oh, I did. So we're going to do that again. And I obviously don't have any transactions to write in here because it's not even November yet. Get it even. And I go all the way down with the lines for transactions just because there's not a totals washi and I have no clue how many transactions I'm going to have throughout the month. Hopefully I don't have that many to where it would go all the way to the bottom of the paper, but you never know. Then we'll just separate category and description. Perfect. So there are our lines for transactions, and I almost even thought, I didn't do this for October, but I almost thought about taking my thin washi kit, and because I kind of go by week, and then just putting one of these in for each new week of transactions, so that might be something that I do here. You will have to wait and see. So then the last one I'm going to do is my weekly check-in, and again, going to take a thick washi, lay that down at the top. Then we will, so the weekly check-in sticker kit, you get the weekly check-in script sticker, and this is actually a 5-week month. So I always include 5 weeks in these sticker kits, even if it is a 4-week month, just because I don't like changing it out depending on the month. So if you get 5 weeks and it's only a 4-week one, then you can do whatever you want with that extra sticker. I'm going to go ahead and put in my lines. No, I'm not going to, because I need to know where the lines are going to go. So I'm first going to put down the week 1 thin header, or thin washi. So this one has week 1, the category, spent, and ending balance. Now I'm going to lay down my lines. So we'll just put a line in between every one here. And then after this, I will finish laying the weekly stickers down. And I have to have enough room for 5 weeks worth, which can kind of be hard if you have a lot of categories. So I will show you what I am going to do to make all 5 weeks fit. Perfect. Alright, so what I normally do is I would normally write out my categories. So spending, gas, groceries, sinking fund, and unbudgeted, and those are coming from my little legend here, my tracker legend. So we have groceries, spending, gas, sinking funds, and unbudgeted. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but I don't normally have unbudgeted expenses. So I am not going to list unbudgeted. I'm just going to go with the first 4 categories, which is spending, gas, groceries, and sinking funds. I know I will have sinking funds. I'm at the wrong page. I know I will have sinking funds expenses because it is November, Black Friday is at the end of the month, and I am going to be taking money out of my Christmas fund, or Christmas sinking fund, sometime in the month, I imagine. So I'm going to first start with, we will do spending, and then gas, groceries, and sinking funds. And then if I just come in with these additional 4 washies, this hopefully should allow me space to be able to get all 5 weeks worth. Hopefully. I do not know for sure. So you guys are going to see it just as I do. So we'll lay down week 2. And then again, we're just going to write those 4 categories again. So we have spending, gas, groceries, sinking funds. Lay down week 3. I'm not going to white out the black lines under this one because this is a darker washi, so it will not peek through, which is nice. Spending, gas, groceries, sinking funds, lay down week 4. I think we're gonna have room, you guys. Spending, gas, groceries, sinking funds. I think we're gonna be like exactly perfect. Might even have a few lines left over here. Week 5. Do the last bit of categories here. Spending, gas, groceries, sinking funds. Holy cow, this is perfect. Because now all we have left is the totals washi. And I'm going to skip a line and then add it right here. White out my black marks. And lay this little sucker down. Perfect. That is what weekly check-in looks like, and this is what you do with or you can do whatever you want. This is what I do with a 5-week month. So I didn't add in unbudgeted, but if I do have an unbudgeted expense, I can add something in down here and then just kind of keep track every week. Hopefully I won't, but it definitely could happen. So weekly check-in. So I'm just going to do a quick recap here. I know this video is getting long, so I am not going to take forever on it. So again, we have our November budget with our income and then our expenses for the month. We have our sinking funds. We have our debt tracker. We have our transactions where I will log all of my weekly expenses. And then we have our weekly check-in where I will total up all the transactions from here, transfer them over to here, and total them up. So that is everything that I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. I know this video got long. I apologize. Hopefully you are still sticking with me and you enjoyed it. Again, if you liked any of the stickers that you see here, or if you want to check out my December budget kits, they are in my Etsy shop, which I will post a link in the description below. And then you can also get this Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner or any other of her products. I do have a referral code in the description below where you can save $10. Thank you guys for watching. Please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would love to have you guys as a subscriber. I'm kind of getting up there and it's so exciting. I've been on YouTube for almost exactly a year, so super exciting. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!